Hi, I'm Greg Fulford from the Fulford Group at Sotheby's International Realty. I'm a real estate agent here in San Francisco. I've been selling real estate for almost 20 years. Now, on this video, we're going to talk about the 5 most important factors that drive property value in San Francisco. Now, when working with buyers and we're evaluating a property, we're going to look at these 5 factors and how those factors influence. On the flip side, in the same scenario, when we're working with sellers and we're talking about their property and getting their property ready for the market and talking about value and where we should list, we're going to look at these 5 factors and how the market will perceive these factors as it relates to their property. Now, when we rank these properties, we're going to start at number 5 and we're going to go from 5 to 1. 1 being the most important and the most valuable, 5 being less or the least important or least valuable. So number 5 is finish level. Now, when we talk about finish level, we're talking about things like tile, countertops, bathroom fixtures, hardwood floors, anything cosmetic within the house that can easily be updated. Now, many times when we are looking at property, if we see a newly renovated home, sometimes it can dramatically influence how we perceive the value and the emotional response that we might have to it. The thing to keep in mind when looking at a property that has been newly renovated, that's the number 5 factor. That is the least important when looking at value. The reason that is that cosmetics can easily be changed. It's easy to change tile. It's easy to change countertops. It's the easiest to improve. So number 5 was finish level. Number 4, private usable outdoor space. So when we talk about private outdoor usable space, we're talking about private patio, private deck for a condominium, or for a single family home, we're talking about a large flat yard, usable outdoor space. Now, with single family homes, lot size is important, but it's the usability of the lot. So if you have a lot that's on a hillside that is not very usable, that is not as valuable as having maybe a smaller lot, but a very usable lawn or usable space for the property. And looking at condominiums, obviously the size of the terrace or deck is important, but also the number of terraces and decks. So, there are some condominiums that have 2, 3, 4 decks. And again, the more outdoor spaces, the more valuable the property. Let's go to number 3. Now, number 3 and number 2 could be interchangeable. It really depends on the property. But we'll start with number 3. Number 3 is views. What are the views from the property? And views in San Francisco, we're lucky. We have a lot of different views. Properties have, views of the SF skyline, the bay, Golden Gate Park, green belts. So depending on what the views are, those all add value. And depending on how dramatic those views are, those will have a significant effect on value. Also, within the property, where those views can be had is also important. Now, if you have a bathroom on the top floor that you have a view of the city, that's not as valuable than having a property with big views in the living room or the kitchen or the dining room, the living areas. Having those views in those places is much more valuable. Number 2, the number 2 most important factor for value in San Francisco real estate is floor plan. Now, floor plan is a factor that often gets overlooked, but floor plan is extremely important. So when we're talking about a single family home, we're talking about, how many bedrooms are on the same floor? Is the floor plan open or is it closed off? How easy is it to access the yard or outdoor space from the living room? All of those floor plan factors are very important. And the reason they are is because it's very difficult to change properties sometimes in San Francisco. It could be an issue with the amount of space. It could be an issue like in a condominium building where you have structural issues with other units. So floor plan, extremely important, something that is very difficult to change. So depending on what that floor plan is, how good of a floor plan is, or how bad of a floor plan it is, that will drive value of property. Now, we've come to the last most important factor when talking about San Francisco real estate. Probably not a surprise. Number 1 most important factor is location. everyone knows in real estate, location is most important. And in San Francisco, it is extremely important. What's very interesting and very unique about cities like San Francisco is location is not just important between neighborhoods, but location within a certain neighborhood. There's big differences between value within a neighborhood. So, as an example, in the Noe Valley neighborhood of San Francisco, you could see a difference in value, a dramatic difference in value, just within a few blocks. So, if you're within 2 blocks of 24th Street, which is the commercial street where there's restaurants and cafes, the value of that property is going to be dramatically higher than a property that is a similar property that is, say, 7 or 8 blocks from 24th Street. So location, extremely important, and block to block, it really drives, there can be big differences between value. So those are the 5 most important factors that drive San Francisco real estate. Thank you for watching my video. If you have questions about San Francisco real estate, or you have questions about the city, or you need any information, please do reach out. I'm Greg Fulford from the Fulford Group at Sotheby's International Realty. And if you want to continue to see videos about San Francisco real estate, San Francisco lifestyle, please do hit the subscribe button so you can be updated. Thank you for watching.